Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the WWE Ultimate Edition Ruthless Aggression 2 Rob Van Dam figure from Mattel. We got a pretty stellar elite of RVD last year, but the question is, does this render that obsolete? Well, let's talk about that. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this figure looks killer, and honestly, there's not really too much to critique about it. Like, I think they absolutely nailed it here. Like, in terms of just presentation, like physique here, and like how Rob actually looks, or certainly looked at the time. Like, I think they nailed it here, and the Ultimate Edition sort of articulation scheme totally drives that home. I have that elite I alluded to in the intro, and you know, it definitely seemed a little thin in comparison. Like, obviously Rob is a very lithe athlete, but you know, I think this definitely captures more of how he actually looks, especially when it comes to the traps and stuff like that. So just very well done there. Not only that, but I mean, the ring gear looks great. I mean, Rob had all his ring gears like hand, you know, airbrushed, and they all looked incredible. He's insane amount of ring gears anyway, and just really cool look here, especially with the dragon. Like, they picked a great ring gear to use for this ultimate. Pardon me. And then we get to that face sculpt, and just insanely accurate. Like, the ponytail came out, but just really good, just all around. And as you can see, there is a port on the back of the head. We're gonna get into this in accessories, but yeah, that does come out. But I mean, the hair sculpt itself, even speaking of that, is just really well done. And yeah, just think they kind of nailed it here all around. So really, if you're a Rob Van Dam fan, like, this figure looks absolutely killer. Great load of accessories here. So let's start with hands, and we get two sets. So right out of the box, we get our requisite C grips, and then we get a pair of thumbs up hands, which we get with pretty much every RVD figure, pardon me. So, you know, excellent. Then we get three different head sculpts. So we looked at the neutral one before, just kind of the smirking face, just insane likeness. Then we get the straight up smiling face, again, just exceptionally well done here. And in the back of the head, you can see the port there. So the ponytail does move from that other head portrait to this one. I think that was a really good way to kind of go about this and make that work. Plus, it makes the ponytail articulated, which definitely works for a high flyer like RVD. Then we get a third head sculpt, which is screaming, and ponytail full out. So this is the high flying head, and I love when they do this. We've seen this with now Edge and Roman Reigns. So just love this. It looks absurd out of context, but works for some great poses and different situations. So absolutely love that. Then we get the championship belt, and done really well. I don't know if this has been done before, but we do get RVD's side plates on there. And this is the spinning belt, which is why the WWE symbol is kind of skewed there. It gets caught a lot, and yeah, so mine isn't moving at the moment, but that does move in there. You can see, you can actually kind of move this a little bit if you need to kind of get under there. You can, I guess, hear it a little bit, but yeah, so it's not moving now, but trust that middle piece does actually rotate. Then finally, we get a chair, done very well. I mean, so many wrestling figures, so many wrestling companies put out just plastic chairs. This has the WWE symbol, folds out, feels very nice. And yeah, that's about it. So that's accessories. Articulation, balance here are positively beautiful, and as you can see, can hold a freestanding kick, no issue. And you know, as Rob being an actual trained martial artist, that's important. So yeah, just great there. Oh man, these drop down hips on the ultimates, I got a thing. So, but in any event, going into the nitty gritty, so we are on a barbell joint here for the head. Not a ton of room under it, so we're not getting a ton of up on these head sculpts. Getting not even too much down because of how they cut the jawline. Unfortunately, we do get some rotation with the ponytail as well. Then we're gonna get some rotation and the slightest bit of tilt. Again, they really cut it close with that head sculpt. For our arms, we do have these very, very nice butterfly joints, which definitely help a lot. A little more back than forward, but still very good. Then come up, and you gotta be a little careful with those. Definitely, you kind of run into the trap with the delt as you're coming up, but you do get a perfect T. You get bicep swivel. You get double jointed elbows all the way in half. Hinge and swivel at the wrists, all horizontal. We get our ball joint here at the diaphragm. And for Rob, that's actually bringing us relatively good forward, some very, very nice arch back, and some side to side. So excellent there, a little bit of hula hooping action. Our waist, we do get swivel. We do have drop down hips, just as I mentioned before. On the Ultimate Editions, they feel like they're still dialing them in, but this one's definitely a little more tight than most. But that gives us some excellent forward. We're definitely coming past 90. Then we have some thigh cut. We have some double jointed knees, which are going to be hindered by our knee pads. Unfortunately, that was an issue with the Ultimate as well. Not the Ultimate, the Elite, pardon me. We do get some boot cut. We get that insane point, that extremely generous forward. We get in and out for our rocker, which is always welcome. Then we get toe pivot, and that is articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here he is with some other WWE figures, with some other wrestling lines, with some Hasbro and some other Mattel, with some imports, with some monsters, finally with an articulated Icons Oni and yours truly in human form as a Valorverse Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the WWE Ultimate Edition Ruthless Aggression 2 RVD figure from Mattel is that this is an absolutely kick-ass figure. Honestly, if you are looking for an Ultimate RVD, this is it. You can't do better than this. I think aesthetically, accessories, just everything, they nailed it here. And I mean, obviously, there's so much room for so many other RVD figures just because of how many different ring gears he had. But as much as I love that Elite that came out last year, like this absolutely floors that, I think. And yeah, this is kind of it. And yeah, that's absolutely worth picking up. And this is being a Ruthless Aggression era figure. Just happens to be a Walmart exclusive, unfortunately. So it's up to either finding it in the wild or having to have it procured the pre-order. I happen to pre-order it only to find it on the shelf first, which floored me, because I know some people always find these on the shelf first before they get their pre-orders. For me, it's been, I guess, 50-50 at this point. But yeah, still, Walmart exclusive, so I can find the page, the actual landing page, then I will put that in the description below. Other than that, I wish you happy hunting and finding this in the wild. So with that being said, I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining, because I do multiple reviews a week of action figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, monsters, pro wrestling, of course, and more. So come on back, let's talk some more toys, let's have some more fun, let's just enjoy all things, including pro wrestling. So yeah, ultimately, I just hope you're well. I hope that all of your toy dreams come true, and most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.